Hey everyone, good morning. James Azar here with CyberHub Engage. I hope you are all ready. It's Tuesday, and it's Tuesday. We're a week away from RSA. Very, very exciting times. IBM has pulled out of RSA, but we're not pulling out. We're staying right in. We're going to have a baby and everything. Today is Tuesday, February 18th, 2020, and here are our headlines for your daily cyber briefing. A bug in a WordPress plugin can let hackers wipe up to 200,000 sites. A phishing on Instagram baits Russians with free money promise. Windows 10 users affected by new shutdown bug. And a dozen vulnerabilities affect millions of Bluetooth LE-powered devices. And now for your daily cyber briefing, brought to you by our friends at Synopsys. With the launch of Code Sight, a better way to find and fix application AppSec vulnerabilities, meet with us and them at RSA as one of our partners in the weeks during the week of the RSA. So stop by the Synopsys booth, ask about Code Sight, and find out how to fix those AppSec vulnerabilities. And now let's get into today's stories, full of vulnerabilities as well. WordPress site owners who use commercial themes provided by ThemeGrill are advised to update one of the plugins that come installed with these themes in order to patch a critical bug that can let attackers wipe their sites. The vulnerability resides in the ThemeGrill Demo Importer, a plugin that ships with themes sold by ThemeGrill, a web development company that sells commercial WordPress themes. The plugin, which is installed on more than 200,000 websites, allows site owners to import demo content inside their ThemeGrill themes, so they'll have examples and a starting point on which they can build their own sites on. However, in a report published yesterday, WordPress security firm WebARX says that older versions of the ThemeGrill demo importer are vulnerable to remote attacks from unauthenticated attackers. Remote hackers can send a specifically grafted payload to vulnerable sites and trigger a function inside the plugin. The vulnerable function resets the site's content to zero, effectively wiping the content of old WordPress sites where a ThemeGrill theme is active and the vulnerable plugin is installed. Furthermore, if the site's database contains a user named admin, then the attacker is granted access to that user with full admin rights over the site. WebARX says the vulnerability impacts all versions of the ThemeGrill Demo Importer plugin between versions 1.3.4 and 1.6.1. ThemeGrill's the plugin developer fixed the bug and released version 1.6.2 over the weekend. This is the second bug in a WordPress plugin that was disclosed already this year that can allow attackers to actually wipe these site databases. Last month, the team at WebFence revealed a similar issue in the WordPress database reset plugin installed on more than 80,000 sites. Again, open source sites with these plugins create a very, very challenging situation where you constantly have to keep an eye on your website. Do so and patch, folks. Keywords: patching, and some more patching. And now we go to Russia, where a large-scale phishing campaign is running on Instagram to bait Russians with fake presidential decree that promises a lump sum payment for a citizen to start their own business. The crooks have invested notable effort to promote the announcement and make it look credible. Since the start of the campaign, more than 200,000 people viewed the messages. There are no details about the number of victims that fell for the trick, but it is likely a large one since the scammers created a believable message using carefully selected extracts from real news releases and television broadcasts. This appears to be more of an elaborate advanced payment scam where victims are duped into paying a fee to get a promised larger amount, which is upwards of 10,000 rubles, around $1,600. In the process, the payment card info is collected. In one video from a TV program distributed part of the campaign, the fraudsters used a segment that informs about the results of a social contracts program from several Russian regions. The first results of the so-called social contracts program are being summed up in several Russian regions. They are one-off payments that allow one to start their own business. Many people were able to solve their harsh situation thanks to the program. Security researchers from the Russian antivirus company Dr. Web found that the fraudsters rely on advertisements delivered on Instagram to promote the lure, along with the presidential decree detail, which the crooks gave the number 1122B and dated it to February 11th, 2020, makes for a very convincing tale. A pre-created Facebook profile is used as the advertiser for the campaign, says the expert in a brief report on Monday. The posts are delivered through targeted advertising from accounts that impersonate Russian federal TV channels like Channel 1 Russia, Russia 1, and Russia 24. These are accompanied by posts from users saying they benefited from the advertised payment. The comments are fake, though. The role being is to increase trust in the information presented. Dr. Webb found 2 phishing websites part of this campaign, both with digital certificates and perpetrating to be official resource of the Russian Ministry of Economic Development. Once landed on one of these websites, users have to check if they are entitled to get money by providing their full name, date of birth. A random sum is generated next, and a fee of 300 rubles, $5, is requested for the electronic application to get it. The checkout page asks for more details, including the phone number and information on the payment card, including name, number, CVV. Needless to say, the crooks get both the registration fee and all the data provided simultaneously in this scheme. A very elaborate one, and that's why awareness training is crucial to all people. To our next story, where Windows 10 users are reporting being affected by a bug that prevents them from shutting down their device without logging out first, an issue that was previously thought only Windows 7 customers were experiencing. Windows 7 users started reporting encountering "you don't have permission to shut down this computer" errors that would not allow them to shut down computers on February 6th. Since then, the same error has been reported by several Windows 10 users too, one of them saying he saw the error pop up on a recently installed device running Adobe CC, as initially reported by Gunter Born. Others also confirmed that the issue was impacting their Windows 10 Home Edition devices, as well as multiple Windows 10 installation in an environment where Windows 7 devices were also experiencing shutdown issues. There are currently hundreds of user comments in the Reddit thread and over 70 in another one in the Microsoft Answers forum, and many more on Twitter. While the shutdown issues aren't as widespread on Windows 10 as they are on Windows 7, all reports point to the same error and the same underlying bug being behind the problems. Microsoft hasn't acknowledged this as a known issue on the Windows Health dashboards for Windows 10 or Windows 7s or the Windows Message Center. However, a Microsoft spokesperson has said that the company is aware of some Windows 7 customers reporting that they are unable to shut down without first logging off, and they are actively investigating. Redmond hasn't issued a public statement regarding the issue being resolved, but a Microsoft employee did share what seems to be a Microsoft response to the shutdown problems affecting Windows 7 and Windows 10 customers, as one of the readers points out. The reply confirms that a recent Adobe update is preventing users from shutting down their computers, as some users were previously considering. We've identified and resolved the issue, the Microsoft employee said. The statement continues to say, which was related to a recent Adobe Genuine update that impacted a small number of Windows 7 users. Adobe has fully rolled back the update automatically for all impacted customers. No action is needed by customers. If you are still experiencing the issue, it will be resolved shortly via an automatic update. While the Adobe has already rolled back the update for Windows 7 customers, Windows 10 ones are just out of luck. Until the bug is actually acknowledged for their platform and a fix is provided by either Adobe or Microsoft, there are some things that people can do to really fix that. And one of them is you can disable the Adobe services triggering the bug, which is the Adobe Genuine Monitor service. And you do that by opening the Run dialog and hitting Windows R combo and then typing services.msc and hitting OK. Look for the Adobe Genuine Monitor, Adobe Genuine Software Integrity, and Adobe Update Services. Disable all of them by right-clicking on each of their entities, stopping them by clicking the Stop button, choosing Disabled in the Startup Type drop-down menu, and clicking Apply. Try to shut down your computer. If it doesn't work, restart first by hitting Control-Alt-Delete and clicking the red icon in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. And for our final story of the day, we go to the world of Bluetooth. That's right, folks. The beautiful technology that lets you wirelessly connect your entire life together, where a team of cybersecurity researchers late last week disclosed the existence of 12 potentially severe security vulnerabilities, collectively named swine tooth, affecting millions of Bluetooth-enabled wireless smart devices worldwide, and worryingly, a few of which haven't yet been patched. All swine tooth flaw basically reside in the way software development kits used by multiple systems on a chip have implemented Bluetooth Low Energy wireless communication technology, powering at least 480 distinct products from several vendors, including Samsung, Fitbit, and Xiaomi. According to the researchers, hackers in close physical proximity to vulnerable devices can abuse this vulnerability to remotely trigger deadlocks, crashes, and even bypass security and BLE products, allowing them to arbitrarily read or write access to device functions that are otherwise only allowed to be accessed by an authorized user. As of today's swine tooth vulnerabilities are found in the BLE SDKs sold by major SOC vendors such as Texas Instruments and XP, Cypress, Dialog Semiconductors, Microchip, STMI Microelectronics, and Telelink Semiconductors. The researchers from the Singapore University of Technology and Design said, here's a list and brief information on the 12 different swine tooth vulnerabilities. Link layer length overflow marked the CVE 2019er 16336 and 17519er. This allows attackers in radio range to trigger a buffer overflow by manipulating the LL length field, primarily leading to a denial of service attack. Link layer LLID deadlock, CVE 2019, and all of these are going to be CVE 2019, so I'm just going to read out the last 5 numbers. 17061, 17060. These trigger a deadlock state when a device receives a packet. Truncated L2 cap, CVE 17517. This flaw results due to a lack of checks while processing. Silent length overflow, CVE 17518. A buffer overflow occurs when a certain packet payload with higher than expected LL length is sent. An invalid connection request, which is CVE 19195, when devices do not properly handle some connection parameters while the central attempts a connection to the peripheral. This could lead to a deadlock state. Unexpected public key crash, 17520. This bug is present in the manipulation of the legacy pairing procedures, which is handled by the Secure Manager protocol implementation and can be used to perform DDoS attacks and possibly restart products. Sequential ATT deadlock, CVE 19192. This flaw lets attackers deadlock the peripheral. Invalid L2 cap fragments, CVE 19195. Improper handling of the PDU size packets. Key size overflow 19196. This overflow in the device memory issues a combination of multiple bugs during the pairing procedure that results in a crash. And the final one is 0 LTK installation 19194. This critical vulnerability is a variation of one of the key size overflow. It affects all product using Telelink SMP implementation with support for secure connection enabled. The detailed report says effective products include consumer electronics, smart home devices, wearables, and also are being used in the logistics and healthcare industry, malfunctioning of which can lead to hazardous situations. The researchers said in a statement that the most critical devices that could be severely impacted by swine tooth are the medical products. VivaCheck Laboratories, which manufactures blood glucose meters, has many products listed to use a DA14580. Hence, all these products are potentially vulnerable to the truncated L2 cap attack. Even worse, Sage Medical and their programmable drug delivery inhalation platform is affected alongside the latest pacemaker-related products from Medtronic Incorporated. According to the report, researchers disclosed these flaws last year to all affected vendors, many of which have now released patches for their respective SOCs, whereas products developed by some SOC vendors, including Dialog, Microchip, and ST Microelectronics, are unpatched at the time of the disclosure. That's it for our daily cyber briefing today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell on YouTube, Give us 5 stars on your favorite podcast streaming platform. That helps us get our rank higher and get more listeners to our show. We look forward to seeing all of you in beautiful San Francisco next week for RSA. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week today. We'll be back with so much more tomorrow. Until then, folks, one very, very important thing is to stay cyber safe.